Hello, this is Lromanosky from Calgary, Canada, and this is a continuation of my automotive vlog series on the ownership life cycle and managing your transportation and or collector car needs. So for this video, I wanted to talk about dealer reviews. As we get closer to the widespread adoption of online automotive sales, the reviews from the dealership become more and more important. But when you're reading these reviews, how can you determine what is real and, frankly, what is a fabricated or a fake review? I've been studying this for a couple of years now, and I did some exercises which I'll share with you. First of all, I took a look at a cross section of the dealers in Calgary. I divided them up into those dealers that I knew were good. And I've been in the business in Calgary for 20 years, so you have a pretty good idea of who's doing what. Those dealers which were good, which had a good involved ownership, had a reputation for honesty and integrity, who were held up in the community as being solid people, basically. And then there's dealers at the other end, those that are mismanaged, high staff turnover, a lot of unethical practices, etc. And if you're in the business, you hear about all of those too. Okay, and I took a look at the Google reviews and the ratings, and found that they're not that much different. So a good review out of 5 on Google might be 4.5 stars or 4.6 or 4.7, and that could apply to a very good dealer and like one of the best dealers. It could also apply to one of the worst. And so looking at the score isn't really that illustrative. And here's the reason why. The car dealerships, there's all kinds of service providers and marketing agencies and so on that come into the dealership almost on a daily basis, or send us emails or whatever, asking us to let them help us with search engine optimization or Google reviews or whatever. So what they offer, the service that they offer, is that they'll basically write a bunch of reviews for you. Now, they would be from people who haven't been to the dealership. They may not even be in the country. I mean, it may be a call center in Bangalore or something in India. But these dealers will send you emails, and they'll say, or these agencies will send you emails that say something like, drive down bad reviews. Let us help you manage your online presence, or whatever it is. So if you get a bad review and it sits at the top, and when people click on reviews and it's a 1 star, and you're a dealer, you might think, okay, well, I know the solution. I'll hire one of these marketing companies, and then they will, send the request out to Bangalore or who knows, somewhere in Canada perhaps, and they'll write 20 good ones for you. Well, the 20 good ones will drive down the bad one, and then people click on your website and click on your reviews. They'll see the only the good ones. Okay, so as a consumer, how can you tell, looking at 2 equivalent car dealerships with the same rating, which is the good one and which is the bad one? Okay, well, I think just analyzing this, here's my opinion on it and the conclusions that I came to. When you have let's say 50 different people writing a review, well, they're 50 individuals with various language skills, various time that they want to spend writing the review, various things to say. The Google reviews from a cross section of the buying public can be as short as 2 words. The shortest one I got was "It's fine." and there's some reviews where the customer writes a novella. Okay, the paragraph structure will be different. The language structure will be different. Generally, in the car business, you don't, for whatever reason, people don't refer to the salesman or the sales manager with a first and last name normally. you know, it's Lawrence from Porsche, or it's, you know, whoever it is. But it's unusual for them to write like the full name of the employee for whatever reason. Maybe in other businesses besides automotive too. But you know, the reviews will all be different. They're from different people. They're just, it's complete cross section. There will be a variety of, like I said, lengths, structure, grammar, everything. Okay. When you pay a company to do a review, or if you are a creative writer looking for work and somebody says they'll give you $50 for every review you write, well, you're pretty much constrained by your own, you know, your own writing, and they're all going to look pretty much the same. I mean, maybe the agencies that are a little bit more clever will say, okay, here's 5 or 6 templates, and you need to sort of, you know, revolve through this list of templates. But they're obviously scripted and templated, okay? They will also be full of glowing superlatives. You know, he is the epitome of professionalism. From the time I walked in, they treated me like a member of the family until I bought the car. And it's just like so over the top. I mean, let's face it. I mean, an excellent experience in certainly the ordinary car dealership would just be one where the people were reasonably attentive, could answer the questions on the car, the car was available and clean, the representations that were made when prior to buying the car were met on the bill of sale, the delivery of the car and the handover was conducted in an efficient way, and the dealer basically did everything they said they were going to do, and the negotiation phase was relatively short and painless. That would be an excellent review. You know, anything more than that, I think you know, you need to ask yourself what the motivation is from the person writing it. And certainly, if they're all like that and they're all the same, that is a clue. Also, it would be difficult, you know, if you were a professional reviewer and you used your own name. Well, then, and you did car dealerships, and every review was positive. Well, people could find that out because they can click on your link and see what all you reviewed. So generally, these will be fresh Google accounts and fresh emails, and they'll only have 1 or 2 reviews. Now, there's lots of people who've only reviewed a few things in their life, and certainly a car is a major purchase and maybe warrants a review where, you know, your trip to a restaurant may not. But still, the dealers who don't engage in the practice of paying for the reviews, if you look at their reviews, there will at least be a reasonable mix from not only the type of review, but the number of reviews each reviewer has done. Okay, when it's all fake, well then you'll get a string of 20 over the top glowing reviews in, you know, the same template, all with people who've only had 1 review or 2 reviews. Okay, so that is another clue. Another thing that I noticed is that the dealers who fake these reviews are really trying to mask all of the poor ones. Okay, so if you go to Google and you rank them from the lowest to the first, and there's a string of 10 or 20 or 30 1-star, you know, this dealer's horrible. And then at the other end of the scale, you know, there's 30 that, oh, this dealership is the epitome of professionalism and everything is like over the top and I couldn't be happier, etc. Well, that's probably pretty unlikely for the dealer to have such processes that are so variable that, you know, a third of the customers can be completely unhappy and mad enough to write you a 1-star review, and then the other half of them, you know, only give you the most glowing positive reviews. That's probably unlikely. If you're a good dealer, you probably have some uniformity in terms of the quality of your processes and the attentiveness of your staff and so on, that having that many bad reviews in conjunction with the over-the-top ones probably would never happen in real life. Now, don't let even the best dealerships will have bad reviews, and just as you have haters and on different web forums and so forth. There's simply always going to be some people who will leave you a bad review. Oftentimes it's something did go wrong, and it's justified. Sometimes it's not, and the person's just kind of out to lunch. I wouldn't be scared of a dealership that had a couple of bad reviews. But what you're looking at is the portion of really bad reviews to the proportion of good reviews. Okay, so it would be natural to assume some 1 and 2 stars for any business. So I wouldn't be scared of that. Something that to look for as well is how those bad reviews are addressed. If they can be just generic, "We're sorry you had a bad experience, call us," or they can be descriptive enough so you can get an idea of what kind of problem that dealer would have had and how honestly the dealer addressed it. And what you kind of want to hear is what you want to see from the dealer is saying, "Yeah, we dropped the ball on that, and we're sorry, and it was a busy day, and we just didn't have enough staff on, and it's our fault, and we're trying to look at hiring some more people," or something. Or the dealer, if they know they're doing a good job and they get a 1-star review, they might say, "Well, where did you come from? You've never been in our system. We've never recorded. Nobody's heard of you. You left us a 1-star and you didn't say anything. So where does this come from?" I've had 1-star reviews from a salesman who tried to get a job and I didn't want to hire him. Sometimes you can get just an unfair review as well. So, okay, now you really do want to avoid, I think, or at least it's a substantial red flag. I mean, it may be that the dealer has the car you want and the color that you want and is willing to sell it at the price you want. You just want to go buy it, and as long as they sell it to you at the right amount, that's all you need, which is fine too. I would put a red flag up though if you've got a dealer with a whole bunch of 1-star reviews and then has obviously faked the good ones. I mean, that just tells you that not only are you bad at what you do, but you're dishonest and trying to mask it too. Okay, so the thing to do, if you're a dealer and you find yourself with a bunch of 1-star reviews, is to say, okay, well, obviously we can improve. Let's try to see what the problem is and try to figure it out and try to get this average up. Okay, like that would be the honest thing, and I think most people would be receptive to that. I mean, I've very rarely, if you just admit that you made a mistake, people will be that hard on you because of course just about everybody does make mistakes from time to time. Okay, so that's what I can say about dealer reviews. I think that if you spend a little bit of time looking at them, knowing that there's companies whose business it is to generate reviews, and maybe that's just something that's not that well known. I know that some of the reviews I read said, "Wow, I just can't believe all these other people had such a great experience because mine was so poor." well, probably there weren't that many people that had a great experience, and your experience is probably typical, so don't feel too bad. Okay, so I hope that helps you navigate that, and I will continue on this series of topics that I think is good information for consumers, and I will continue this. Please like and subscribe and share. I'd like to do what I can to build up the audience here, so if you found that useful, please do so. Thank you very much. Lromanosky from Calgary, Canada.